Fucking sums up the game, doesn't it? Put the wrong bloody intro on. Anyway, listen. Welcome to the West Ham Minds channel. It's Jazz. And yeah, it's finished. Manchester United 3, West Ham United 0. Let's let the chat build up. But yeah, feeling pretty flat. And yeah, I'll be really surprised. What's football about? Scoring goals. It's about creating goals. And we didn't have any of that in our team, really. And you can see the squad. You can see the two windows that we have in football and in UK football. We got the two windows. What's the purpose of the January window, everyone? Before the business end of the league starts, it's to refreshen the squad. It's to kind of bring players in. Not that you bring one in and he ain't started that great and then you kind of lose four. So the squad was pretty average and poor before, and now you've brought one player in who's struggling. To be fair, you ain't going to be up there to set goals up or score goals, which is key for us. And then you kind of, you kind of bring him in and then you lose four. It's just looked really pretty flat. To be fair, the lineup, the setup, I didn't have too much problems with, because up to when Man United scored, before Man United scored that first goal, we were kind of the better team. We had a lot of width about us. It was really good. But then, like I keep saying in my previous shows, in the really business end of the league and in games where you're playing your kind of rivals in the league, I don't mean history or anything like that. I mean rivals in terms of the 6th, 7th, 8th. You know, the teams that are in and around you and who are kind of a debate about the same quality as you, more often than not. Strikers and creativity is the key on who's going to win those games. It's not about passing sideways, backwards, crossing the ball in. It's not about that. In these really important games, in these tight games, it's the strikers that make the difference. That's why they cost the most money in the league. It's a striker's DNA, and we've seen it in nearly every game, right? I keep mentioning all the teams we play. I think we're the only team in the league that haven't got a striker. It's fucking embarrassing. It's gone on for that long, right? And you've seen how Solanke scored last week, and you've seen other strikers do it. You saw today how Man United's first goal happened, right? Strikers sense an opportunity. They read the game. They make their move before the ball's delivered, and it's all about the finishing, right? That's why you got things such as strikers in the game. But we don't have those. And in these key games, right, in these big games, that is what's going to count. There's no point having more possession or playing well if you haven't got the cutting edge. We didn't have the cutting edge. And you saw it. Emerson had a couple of chances. He's not a striker. I don't know if Bowen's fully fit, everyone. He's been pretty flat, to be fair, since he's come back from injury. We missed Paqueta. But why in a David Moyes setup, continuously David Moyes refuses to buy a striker? And when he's got a striker, he falls out with the striker. The striker doesn't play for West Ham United, and he hates those skillful number 10 players, right? Paqueta's kind of a CDM and a number 10, but a Maddison type. He hates those players, David Moyes. He hates players that have got skill, they can create things. He just wants 11 robots that run around for the sake of it, tackling, and 11 kind of WWE wrestling type physical people, right? He hasn't got time for those creative, skillful players who might not be able to tackle back as often as they like, or they might not be able to run around like idiots. But if you win the ball, you give it to your proper number 10, like a Maddison, he'll create something for you, and he'll be the focal point for the whole team, and you've got a striker up front. And that is, for me, is how we lost the game, right? We weren't really going to win today. And typical West Ham, we made Man United look really, really good. It's still one of the worst Man United teams I've seen. But typical West Ham, we made them look great. They got their confidence back, Man United. The crowd were fully behind them. We didn't have anything on the bench to bring anyway, right? And I'm an amateur, and I know what a fuck up we've done in a window. What a proper fuck up we've done in a window once again. Right, we haven't fucking bought no creative player in, no number 10, nothing. It's absolutely a joke. I'm not going to blame people like Cornet or kind of Bowen as a winger, but what are we doing? We're waiting for a 33-year-old Antonio to come back. That's why we didn't buy a striker. An out-of-form Antonio for 2 years. He's going to come back and be our saviour. And why should we rely on Paqueta? He's got an injury. Players get injuries. Why have we only got one creative player who kind of is a CDM as well? He's not a truly, skillful Madison type, Bruno Fernandes type player, is he really? Right? So we can have all the possession you're going to have. You can put your tackles in. You can look solid. But when it comes down to the juicy end of things, scoring goals, playing great football, it ain't going to happen for you. It ain't going to happen for you. I don't know what's inside his thick head. I seriously want to shake David Moyes and think, what the hell is going on here, mate? I've seen all the media. It's fucking going mad. Obviously, there's an internal civil war between fans. I mentioned people that want him, people that don't. He's losing all the people. I gave him the benefit of the doubt, which I've taken back now. I've fucking had enough of Moyes. He didn't learn. He had a shit transfer window. He refuses to play better football. And yeah, I'm just kind of sick of it anyway. I'm going to go in the chat, see what you guys are kind of mentioning. Who we got here? Bright, how you doing, mate? Listen, Kudos is a very, very good player. But listen, you can't rely on one person all the time. It's a team game. You defend like a team and you're meant to attack like a team. We don't attack like a team because we don't really have those kind of key choices. Do you know what I mean? We don't really have... listen, Bruno Fernandes had a pretty average season compared to what he's about, right? But we need a Bruno type player as well as Paqueta. I don't want Paqueta to be the only player at the whole fucking club who's creative. I want Paqueta in the team alongside Alvarez. I want a proper striker, and then I want a Maddison type in the three with Bowen and Kudus either side of him, right? So that relieves the pressure of Bowen and Kudus trying to run into the box and do everything, try to be a winger, trying to cross it, try to be a striker. It's too much for those guys, right? But if they stuck to the wings, they could interact with that number 10 and you'll have a focal point in terms of a striker. So when we get a chance, we put it in. Was that really hard, what I've just explained in literally, 30 seconds? How hard is that to understand for David Moyes? But he refuses to do it. He just keeps doing the same thing over and over again. The quality, the entertainment of football, even compared to David Moyes standards, is awful, right? And yeah, we're 7th at the moment. The teams below are catching up quite quickly. We got the Europa kind of draw and knockout coming in a couple of weeks' time. But listen, so many comments out there, everyone, where people are not going to renew the season ticket. I gave mine up last year. There's even more that are going to do it right now. And okay, at the moment, right, it looks like David Moyes has got a contract on the table to sign, but that can change, right? And listen, that is what the situation is, right? But like I said, day to day, Sullivan in the past has often reacted to how the fans, what they think about the situation, right? That's the way Sullivan, and the more this carries on, I'm sure that there's people at the club who look at the YouTube channels and read. I'm sure they have a media team that does that and relays and summarizes the messages back to Sullivan, because Sullivan usually looks at those and he's very, very afraid and nervous of the fans reacting in a negative way, right? The next home game, whatever, the atmosphere is going to be even more on the floor. And there's people out there who've got season tickets that haven't gone for ages. That's why the ground might look more or less full, but those people are giving tickets to someone else. They don't want to go. So people obviously with 3 tickets are going to go, right? If I had a season ticket, I wouldn't go. I'd give it to a friend. So the true picture ain't really out there, right? And I don't know why we can't sign a striker in the whole world. I am speechless with this. Absolutely speechless, mate. And what do we get from David Moyes in a press conference? We tried. It just didn't happen for us. That's copy and paste from so many transfer windows with David Moyes in charge of us. Are we that stupid that we're going to fall for that? Absolute joke. Cosmos, how you doing, mate? No, mate, no. We were all right up to their first goal, Cosmos, but we never had the cutting edge up front. That's what it's about. You can kind of look all right, look comfortable, but if you don't score when you're on top, or you don't have a kind of avenue of scoring goals, then what's the point, mate? Do you know? We're just sick of it, aren't we, mate? Absolutely sick of saying that, and it's so obvious, isn't it, mate? So obvious. Yeah, because it's falling to Emerson. That's why strikers cost them more money. Yeah, we've seen it in Solanke. He sniffed that chance. He put it in the net, and that's what you kind of pay for, really. But it's kind of just kind of bullshit at the moment, really. How you doing, Matt? You all right?
Yeah, mate, not bad. How's my audio before we start?
No, you're right, mate. No. Yeah. I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you, mate. Yeah, you're surprised, aren't you? How you been
Well,
anyway?
listen,
Where you been, you nutcase? Where you been? Did the Mexican
well,
cartel release you?
some things I can't talk about.
Oh no, oh no. I
No,
thought
mate,
I
all
was going to
good.
get an
How you doing? All right?
exclusive. Not really, mate. Not really. I mean, we've had a another really poor transfer window in my point. Another window where we failed to address the striker situation. And Matt, what we need, mate, is a Madison type number 10, not just rely on
Uh-huh.
Paqueta, and we need a striker up front, mate. And we were comfortable up to when it was 0-0, mate, but we didn't have the cutting edge. We didn't look like we had an avenue to score a goal or create a goal. And the crisis amongst the West Ham fans is hitting sky high at the moment in terms of people don't want to renew their season ticket anymore. They've absolutely had enough of this, mate. And I'm just sick of saying it, but you haven't been on for a while, so I'll go through the comments and you let me know what you're feeling around the transfer window, the non-stop striker issue. We're again relying on Antonio, 33-year-old Antonio, to save us and all that kind of thing, mate.
Yeah, I just think that the transfer window was poor in general, mate. As it was, as we expect, we expected it to be. I think that how's the audio? It's okay or not?
No, it's fine. It's not bad. Yes, fine. Yeah, it's fine. I can hear you. Yeah, it's fine.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's what we expected. I mean, did anyone really expect us to go out and buy the players we needed? Really?
Not really, mate. Not really. No, no,
No.
no,
I
no,
mean,
no.
it feels like it's the same story over and over and over again. We need a striker. We've been saying that in 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022. And the story goes on, mate. And like you say, we've got a good starting 11, maybe 12, 13. But outside of that, we're dead.
Exactly, and we must be the only team in the league that hasn't got striker, and we mustn't forget that David Moyes isn't a new manager. Think you're echoing a little bit now. Yeah, yeah. Switch that one off if you can. That's better. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So basically, we're not talking about a manager who's just come in recently in one or two windows. He's been there a while. And you look at the difference the Tottenham managers made in two windows to their squad. They brought in loads of players that have hit the ground running. They bought players to fit the model he plays. And that's all you need to do. And Calvin Phillips, okay, a lot of things to talk about. He's been injured largely for 2 years, was good. Is struggling a lot, you can tell. He's made two mistakes, led to two goals. But I agree with the fans. But yeah, we didn't really need him, did we, above a striker or another creative player to replace Ben Rama, mate?
First things first, mate. And we're not going for that. That's the problem. We need a striker. We need two strikers. We need three strikers. I mean, Danny Ings is not the one. Just not. Sorry.
No, not by himself up front. No way. No.
No, he's not. He's not. Not in the structure we play. We need someone like Arnautovic in that style. That was wonderful for us. Antonio, we know can't do it anymore. Mubama, I mean, there's a big difference between being a good development team player, being a good backup player, and being that out-and-out striker that we need to head into the top six. And like you say, okay, we're struggling now that Paqueta's not out on the pitch, but we've got rid of Ben Rama, who was our maybe backup creative player. For now, like for example, in the third goal, the Phillips stopped running. For now, would have never let that go. And so, what have we done? We've actually come out worse in the transfer window. What is the plan? That's what I want to know, mate. I mean, I just feel sad. I want to know what's going on.
I think Cosmos in the comments thinks we played well and it's just that we didn't score. But Cosmos, that's a big thing, mate. You can't win a game if you don't score. And I agree. Well, and Matt is kind of agreeing with you, saying generally we've got an okay team, but we're missing one or two pieces that, like I keep saying, Moyes has done the hard work at the club. He's established the foundation where we're rarely in the bottom 10. We're comfortable. We've won a trophy. We're still in the Europa. He's done a lot of things right, but he just refuses to buy a striker and maybe one more creative player. Because, yeah, so you can see a kind of thing building up with Moyes where Matt, no striker settles here. I mean, obviously, Cosmo's saying that Moyes was right, Scamacca is crap, but then I look at it two ways. Why did we scout Skamaka to come in anyway if he wasn't going to settle in? And okay, if he was bad and everyone more or less thinks that he's not quite what he was, then you go out to the market again. You don't give up. You buy one player, didn't work out. You go back in again, and he just refuses to do it. And as a player, if I was a winger, which Bowen really is, and which Kudos really are, I mean, how many things are Kudos Bowen meant to do? They're meant to go down the wing, they're meant to cross it, they're meant to be on the end of it. They can't do all of that themselves, isn't it, Matt? I
No.
mean, you can't.
Well, imagine right now Kudos and Bowen are playing. Imagine them with a great strike in the middle. How great would that be? And Paqueta behind. I mean, that would be absolutely. There's a front diamond. That would be brilliant. I mean, that would be top six quality. And if you look today, mate, like I heard, I was listening to you before I logged in. Over 20 shots today, mate. Over 20 shots against Man United away from home. I mean, this is a piss poor Man United. Like you were saying, it's not the Man United of old. A Man United under Alex Ferguson would never let a team of West Ham stature have 20 odd shots at Old Trafford. And that's what's happening now, mate. So we're getting the opportunities, we're creating, but we don't have that. I mean, I saw that Chicharito returned here to Mexico. I would love someone like that, Fox in the box. Because take an example of that Emerson chance, mate. Skies it, I mean, absolutely to fuck knows where. And then 30 seconds later, they go and score.
I think with Chicharito, he's another Danny Ings. He would not fit under Moyes by himself up front. That's the problem.
Yeah, you're right.
That's the problem. Yeah.
The thing is, we're returning to points we've talked about before, Jazz. We're so tactically rigid. We're so plan A, and if plan A doesn't work, let's keep smashing plan A. Look what happened with Bielsa and Leeds. We're not going down that road, but it was the same. The first season, absolutely blinding. Everybody worked out how to play against him, and then it went into a shit show because of lack of tactical flexibility. And that's what we have sometimes.
I mean, what's made it worse, Matt, is that Broja's gone to Fulham on a $2 million loan fee with no real
criminal.
No. It's up to them if they want to make it permanent or not. And
how do we not scout? How are we not sniffing around these kind of deals, mate?
Well, apparently Moyes goes, he's gone off for a little bit since 2 years ago. But that is how you buy players. We're not Man United, Liverpool, Bars. The players we buy are either going to be damaged goods like the Kenya Wars and things like, or people that slightly gone off form. Because those are the players Harry Redknapp used to buy, the ones that are about to be thrown out, the Mersons. But you rejuvenate them, you put your arm around them. That's the thing. Obviously, Broja was banging in the goals. He wouldn't come to West Ham, would he? And they would keep him. I don't understand Moyes' comments, mate. I don't get it.
But we're not consistently good enough to get top strikers in. It's a fact. We're a project. This word keeps being thrown around. We're interesting for some people, but we're not what a lot of players want to come to, because look at the history of strikers going back from Zaza, Skamaka, etc. Strikers have come in and historically done poor in our system. Who's done well in our system in the last 4 years as an out-and-out striker?
We don't really have a striker, and we tried Haller and Skamaka, and then Arnie worked for him somehow. Then he tried to turn Bowen into Arnie, and Bowen's half done all right, but Bowen, that's not really his position long term. He helps out, and to be have such a go at Antonio. But if you remember, Matt, deep down, Antonio does not want to play up front. He doesn't want to do it. He helped out, and he's stuck with it now. And he doesn't want. He hasn't got them. He hasn't got the body to run and press. I see it live when I'm at the ground, mate. He doesn't press. He just walks around the ground because he can't do it. And you've seen when you've got a striker how when Man United got the first goal, how Solanke got the first goal, Nunes early in the season got between Agard and Zoom. That is a striker's DNA, Matt, isn't it? You've played much more football than me. There's a reason why strikers cost a lot more. They can read the game before it happens. They'll go near post, far post. They'll go into an empty space. They'll go on the wrong side.
Movement is everything, mate.
Exactly.
Look at Højlund today. If you look at Højlund's movement, mate, very intelligent, very nice movement off the ball, And like I said, mate, it's easy for us to panic and easy for us, there were moments of good football, and we were comfortable in some moments of the game. But then again, like we've always said, mate, football isn't won on nice football. I mean,
Yeah,
Phillips,
yeah.
Phillips came on, looked way off the pace.
Yeah, twice now, isn't it, mate? Yeah, yeah. Bloody hell.
Ward-Prowse didn't look on form today. Ward-Prowse I didn't like today. I didn't think he was his usual form. But I mean, people can blame Bowen sometimes because when Emerson was getting into good positions more than Souček, people were saying, well, Bowen's not in the right positions. But then going back to the same point, like what you just said, Bowen's not a natural striker. He's not his natural intention, natural desire to get into those positions. He's doing his best job. He's more of a guy that takes on players. So, I mean, we need that fox in the box. We need that guy that is with that killer instinct. That whatever Weaver's rain or sun, he's putting his head in, his knee in, his arse in, his head in. What's going to get the ball to go?
It is. I mean, oh, God. The thing is that, I mean, Bowen played most of the game, so I'm hoping he is really fit, but some people think he isn't quite fit. We've rushed him back. We've rushed Paqueta back. That's why he got injured again. And like you said, we're not scoring goals. And someone really interesting said on another WhatsApp group, mate, is that we seem to be set up defensively with so many CDMs, but we're conceding goals, aren't we, Matt? Chances and goals. So we let in 3 today, mate. And then, yeah, I know there's a very few clean sheets around Premiership these days. I get it. But then that side of it isn't working either, Matt, is it? On the defensive side. I mean, Agerd, you know what I think of him? I can't stand the guy. I think he's fucking shit. And I know it wasn't 100% the deflection. It can happen to anyone. But nah, mate, I don't see anything in him. And yeah, I don't know. He's kind of lost. Apparently, he made a mistake. Yeah,
he's gone down the Diop kind of route. Just sloppiness in certain moments. What was the difference with Diop? Diop had everything. Why would he been looked at Liverpool for 50 million in that time? Because he's tall, strong, great distribution, fast. But what was it? Lapses of concentration, left, right, and centre. And he just let him down as a player, and that's what happens with our world, I think. We're just momentary lapses of composition that he gets frustrated. And then, because every time he makes a mistake, you see he's like, shout at everyone else. Accept responsibility yourself, mate. You fucked up, you let a deflection off, it's yours, just get it go. And I think that Phillips will do good for us. I have faith. I don't think it's a short-term solution. I don't think it'll come good until near the end of the season. Because, like I said, he looks that he's not match fit. He's come off those times of injuries. But I think he's got that quality that could maybe free up someone else.
The problem, Matt, is his confidence is low, and it's probably gone worse coming into this team. That's the worry I've got. And the other problem is, I don't think Moyes will ever drop Souček. So if I'm right in understanding, I don't really want to see a team with Alvarez, Phillips, and Souček in there, as well as 1 or 2 of the other CDMs he throws in there. That's just far too many. And I don't know. Apparently, the contract's there for Moyes to sign. I mean, Matt, I don't know what's going to happen day to day. I mean, the fans already throwing a wobbly as they have for a long time. It's getting quite sky high. So I don't know, mate.
Yeah, I mean, I just think take Moyes out of the equation. Just look at it. We've got to see what's going on at the club and find the reason why we're not buying a striker, why we're not buying the players that we need. That is the root cause of the problem, mate. We can talk about tactics, we can talk about Moyes' in-game management, we can talk about everything. But I was listening to a Karen Brady interview. She was talking about how they sold rights, how they brought the players in, and okay, we brought in Ward-Prowse, we brought in Alvarez, we brought in Kudus, but at what point do we continue buying players without buying a new striker or strikers? That is where I just don't understand between the board, between the technical directors, between the manager. Where is something going wrong that we
that
are
we are
so
so
blindsided,
blindsided,
you know, we're
you know,
like
we're like
the
the
horse with
horse with
blinkers,
blinkers,
that we're
that we're
just
just
not
not
seeing
seeing
the
the
necessities
necessities
on a
on a
day-to-day,
day-to-day,
game-to-game
game-to-game
basis.
basis.
Because
Because
imagine
imagine
today, mate,
today, mate,
okay,
okay,
we
we
don't buy a
don't buy a
brilliant
brilliant
striker,
striker,
but we
but we
buy a
buy
good
a good
striker that
striker
can
that
come
can
off the
come off the
bench.
bench.
It would have
It would have
changed the
changed the
game.
game.
I mean, I don't know what's the situation with Mabuma is, mate. I mean, he's
Mate,
not
he's not going to
re-
be good. He's not going to be good enough, mate.
he's
He's like
not
a Freddie
used anyway.
Sears. He's going to be,
Yeah.
Freddie Sears, um, Elliot Lee, all those kind of guys that we want so passionately to come. Martinez, those kind of guys that, as a West Ham fans, we'd love them to come through and be the next Tony Cottee. You know what I mean? We'd love them to come through, but they're not going to. They're not going to. I'm sorry.
Apparently, you're echoing a lot. I think the people in the chat are saying, Matt. I don't know.
Again.
Yeah. I don't know if you got a mic or something. Yeah. See
Mate,
how you do.
Yeah. Let me see what I can do. Wait a sec.
Yeah. No problem, mate. Trini, how you doing, mate? 2 midfield passengers. Not so. I get that, mate. Sean's in the house. Sean, how you doing, mate? Yeah, you didn't miss much, mate. In terms of poor performance. 3-0 we lost, and that's the way it is, mate. I think there's rumours that, which isn't great, that in the summer, if you remember when we sold Rice, we didn't buy anyone till the latter end of the window, and apparently, Moyes and Tim Stuyton, there was issues, and I think Sullivan kind of sat them down and had a chat with them, and then we brought the players in. But what isn't healthy, everyone, is that I'm guessing or hearing that some players are coming in what Moyes likes, some Tim. So it's kind of like a bit of an agreement. So they're not on the same page or the same wavelength, which isn't great. So you can see that Phillips is clearly, blatantly a David Moyes player. And what that means is that obviously he can hit the ground running. He's Premiership. He's not that kind of young. He's 28, 29. But because he's Moyes' player, he started him straight away. Whereas people like Kudos, other attacking type of players that have come in, they've had to wait games and months before being introduced. So you can see the difference in him. It's very alien and unnatural for David Moyes to play attacking players in the right way. He doesn't find it comfortable, but if he buys a defender, he buys a CDM, he loves it. He puts them straight in. Tell him to buy a striker. I mean, Tim Stuyton, you can see how high his stock is. Liverpool, he's more or less going to go to Liverpool anyway. I'll be shocked if he doesn't. But even, you're telling me that in the whole window, with Rob Newman still there and things like that we didn't really have a chance of buying anyone up front. So obviously watch out for that type of news. Yeah, we could end up with bloody, a lot of issues on that side.
Let me see if it's no, it's still, man.
Can you tell there's an echo? I mean, I can't, but the people in the chat can.
Yeah, no idea, mate. Let me check it out. One second.
Tree trees. Warren's in their Formula One. Bargy, how you doing, matey? Oh, mate, Aaron's on about the is he on about the 40 point safety? Is he? How many have we got then? If I look at the tables, everyone, we're kind of let's have a look at the standings. So we're kind of where are we? Come on, we're 36. Yeah, we need 4 to get 40 points. Brighton are 1 point behind. Newcastle are 3. So the last 3-4 games, as you all guys know, we've drawn an awful lot. And then, to be honest, I think Brighton should have beaten us. Bournemouth should have beaten us. We've lost today. So we're not on a very good run. It's a very winless run that we're going into. December results were pretty freaky. We didn't play well, but managed to win a lot of the games. So we're kind of 7th now. We'll see how much further we'll drop. But then I can't see it picking up if we haven't got anything exciting off the bench to come to. There's only Paqueta we're waiting for. That is more or less a squad we've got, and they're more or less fit, apart from Antonio Paqueta. I mean, Antonio, for me, the worry is he wasn't really on form anyway before. He's 33 now. I don't know how long he's going to carry on. So do we really have a lot of things to wait for and see that can make a difference? Not really. David! Let's see. It's going to be very interesting, David. It's going to be very interesting. The story's changing day to day, mate. Apparently, the contract's more or less 80% done. It's just a case of David Moyes sitting down and just kind of crosses and ticks where it's needed, and kind of sign it 1 or 2 year, 2 years of looking at extension, mate. But shit's gonna hit the fan if that happens. We've got a very split fan base. There's a lot of people that don't go anymore. They're willing to kind of, yeah, not renew their season tickets, which the club's always nervous about, if you remember, that they don't like things like that. So yeah, we'll see what happens on that front, really. Kevin, he's put the money in, mate, to be fair, Sullivan. I mean, with Tim Stuyton, and don't forget, we did well to bring him into the club, and Sullivan must have had a lot of work behind that. There's a lot of clubs that wanted Tim Stuyton. He came with good stock reputation. He's got him in there. He's got Noble in there as ambassador. Rob Newman's still there. Moyes is there. So I don't want to really blame Sullivan anymore. I don't know how much of an input he has. And Sullivan was the one, Kevin, he used to love buying strikers, whether they're good or bad. He always brought them in. So, listen, we'll never truly know what goes on in the background, but you just have to blame the manager, mate. You just have to blame that. If it isn't working out with Tim Stuyton, then that needs to be clarified as well. But, yeah, I'm not quite sure that we should look at Sullivan again, mate. There's only one tactic, David, so it's not a set of different tactical awarenesses we need to look at. It's a similar setup every single game. Just needs freshening up, and yeah, that way of playing is just tiring to watch. It's not exciting. I'm not sure how motivated the players are to just keep playing like that. It's just, I watch Spurs. I mean, dare I say it, I love watching Spurs. I hate Arsenal. I love watching the way they play as well. Liverpool, you already know about. Man City, you already know about. Not easy to follow these big clubs. I get that, but I just love how brave the Tottenham manager is and how they play on the front foot. They move it around so quick. They zip it around. It's a really, really good watch. And like I said, even if they lose Spurs, the fans will clap them off the pitch because they're giving it 100%. That's more than what you can ask for when they try to entertain the fans. That's what it's all about, isn't it? I know, I know, mate. I know. You never know. Yeah. I can't see anything changing too much. But then, like you said, we kind of, Broja sort of going to kind of Fulham. That's kind of hurt me a bit. I was always after that guy in terms of let's see what he can do. And the deal Fulham got, everyone, is you can't say no to that. It's about a 1 or 2 million loan fee. You don't have to buy him at the end of the window. It just makes sense. And he lives in and out around London. It wouldn't have been a big move for him. And the worst thing, I mean, what you got to lose? Put him on the bench, see how he goes. And I think he'll be all right. But we didn't get anyone in. Well, you say there's no rush, Montana, but listen, what we into 3 months to go, 4 months to go? It's kind of towards the latter end of the season, and the more the uncertainty goes, the more the fans will grovel. Maybe the players, do they want to try? Do they not? If the manager stays, that they got more clarity in their mind. But we are stuck now. If they don't renew it, then you remember the Sam Allardyce last season. The players just wasn't really bothered, were they? The motivation wasn't there. Thinking he ain't going to be there anyway. Why bother? I think it should have been done in the summer. I think Moyes should have gone in the summer with his head held high, shook his hand, and brought someone in young and exciting. Well, I was bloody looking at Poch, but looking at the Chelsea results, I think Poch could be on his way out, so he might be available. I'm guessing if we had to get a new manager in the way Sullivan does it, he'll probably look for managers out of work. That's the way he does it. You got Potter out there. You'll probably make an appointment like that, whether you like that kind of thing or not, really. If I look at the league table, Aaron, let me have a look, mate. If I look at the league table, and then we'll take it from there where I think we might finish. So we're 7th, aren't we? So 10th are Wolves. They're 4 points behind. So I would say about 9th or 10th, I would have guessed, but you never know. I mean, Chelsea are 5 points behind. They got a big squad, haven't they? So Bournemouth, we've got 9 points ahead of Bournemouth. I think you've got to be looking at the 9th or 10th, but if we turn those draws into wins and beaten teams like Sheffield United and things like that, we were nicely cemented in 6th place. We would have had a 6, 7, 8 point gap between us and Man United in 7th or 8th. That would have been brilliant, but we've thrown it away and now we're in 7th. So I think you're looking at 9th or 10th, mate. Let's see how we do in Europa. But you never know. We do have a smallish squad. If something happens to Bowen or Paqueta breaks down again or doesn't come back as quick, it could get a lot worse because we are relying on 1 or 2 players to do everything for us in terms of creativity and scoring goals. If something happens to them, which we've seen, the window has closed, It's not going to be very good, mate. Not going to be good. I love the way Bournemouth played, Montana. I thought it was brave football, very quick. They were first to the ball, mate. They were zipping it about. They were miles ahead of us in thought and how they were playing, mate. So that shows you don't always need the biggest budget or the biggest, best players. It's just the way how you train the team and your philosophy of playing, which, yeah, it's a good philosophy Moyes has got if you're struggling or you're about to go down and you kind of need that solid structure. But when you've been in charge at a club for 4 years, 8, 9, 10 transfer windows, you've got to go to up to the next level. I don't think he can't do it. And this is where the fans are frustrating, where we've kind of gone up and up and we're stuck now and he won't do anything different. And that's what he was like at Everton. I think he got them into the Champions League once. And to be fair, yeah, they were always top 7, top 8, top 9. I get it. But he can't get into the top. I mean, top 4 is hard. But for us, it's just giving it a go because he has got an advantage over other managers. He's been here a while. I can't even say he's got a set structure of coaches because they all leave him after a year anyway for reasons that we know about. So that advantage is gone. But it's just that keep saying it's kind of, yeah, the kind of icing on the cake, the top thing that you need. He just won't do it. And we're just kind of gliding up and sideways at the moment in the league. Yeah, maybe Bournemouth. I mean, Bournemouth, like I said, we're 9 points clear of them, Paul. That'll take an awful lot of doing for Bournemouth to catch us, mate. We'll have to lose like 5, 6 in a trot, and they'll win half of their games. So I think ninth or something like that. It's just the type of league it is, mate. That's kind of what it is. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to shoot off now. I don't want to talk about man of the match. Like I said, I have not want to. Yeah, I don't want to talk about man of the match for a while now. They're all about the same. There's no one stands out. Slight concern over Calvin Phillips. He's kind of given away 2 goals now, 2 really, really bad mistakes. Yeah, confidence looks low, looks even more lower now. And all that excitement about him coming in is kind of gone quickly now. So I don't know what Moyes is going to do with him. And yeah, it's not exciting. I think next game the atmosphere will be even worse. I think it's going to be dead around the ground and the pressure's going to build on Moyes, and we'll see in the up and coming weeks and days what the situation with his contract is really. But for me, summarising it, it's the striker and creativity. And creativity, I don't mean Paqueta. We need something alongside him, plays more further up behind the striker. That's what we're missing. Bowen and Kudus on the wings, Maddison type in the middle, ahead of Paqueta and Alvarez, and a striker up. That's all. I think that's all we need, and we haven't addressed it. And it's going to be frustrating all the way through, and we'll bob up and down and sideways, not really up so much, sideways and down, and we'll be 8th, 9th or 10th and interchanging amongst those positions, because when we're nearly fully fit, we've got a really good team, very expensive players, don't forget. You look at Kudus, Bowen, Alvarez, people like that, but we've got issues at the back. Apparently we're defensive, but we can't stop giving away chances, we can't stop conceding goals. That doesn't help. That's a double whammy, and we can't score up front. And to be fair, I think that position 7th is quite generous. If you're a proper West Ham fan, you know your football, that's not really true picture. I think we're being far worse than 7th, and somehow we're there. It's a funny type of league, and we've won some games freaky. You don't even know how we've done it without playing really, really well. So maybe it's just an odd season. You can see Chelsea in 10th, 11th place, but it's a lot of inconsistency between the teams in 7th and 11th, and they'll keep on interchanging with them because they're not consistent with their results, nor are we. Yeah, sometimes we might fluke it and get the odd point. Sometimes we might win 2-1. I don't know, but you can clearly see the frustration is the striker thing is just getting silly now, and we've got another 4 months of this to suffer now, which is going to do my head in. It's getting more depressing for everyone. I don't even go anymore. I go once a month. I don't even want to go then, and it's just, some people are happy with the results, and 6th or 7th historically, that's not bad. Other half, I just had enough of the entertainment football, and they've both got pros and cons in their arguments, and it's up to you where you decide. But we respect all views. My view is I've just had enough of the entertainment. I can't stand it anymore, and I do understand the flip side of people like Poch, who I wanted in. I mean, they don't want him there either. They go, he doesn't know how to do tactics, he doesn't know how to defend, where Moyes more or less apparently does. So it's really complicated out there, and truly there's not that many good managers out there. I think Alonso's been linked with Liverpool. He's only been manager a year. That shows you the standard of the managers, a bit like the refs. There's not much out there. So Potter, I don't really get anything with Pote. Doesn't excite me. Don't really know what he's about, because don't forget, at Brighton, he didn't buy the players. There's a system that buys players for Brighton, so he's like a coach. So Brighton, whoever the seniors are, they buy the players, they give them to the coaches, and they coach, right? Whether you like the Brighton coach, whether you like the guy at Brentford, I'm not certain about any of them, right? Kudos to Tottenham to getting Postecoglou from Celtic. He seems to exactly meet the requirements of what they want and type of football they want, really. So it's like buying a player. You got to buy a manager that meets your DNA, really. I think Slaven Bilic did, and the ground move just kind of messed him up a little bit. I think obviously Alan Pardew was brilliant for us. Zola was brilliant, but not really experienced enough. So it is quite hard to get it all right? But it's up to the scouts. We should have a scouting system that Brentford and Brighton have, that not only look at good players, but they look for the good managers out there. You know, the new big managers. Look how many managers have Brighton lost. They don't care. They go, we got the next one ready. They don't care. And players as well. They go, you can buy any of our players. 100 million is yours. We've got the next one lined up. We need to replicate that. And I think Liverpool have got one or two, the Brentford team, backroom team on their books, and they're looking for one more, aren't they? So, and Tim Stuyton, we'll see what happens with him. But for me, yeah, we just needed a Maddison type number 10 and kind of a striker, and we would have been, 5-10% better, and it would have looked so much better on the eye. But Moyes, I can't see him staying now. If this carries on, which it looks like it will, I can't see the second half of the season being better than the first, and we'll see what happens in Europa. Obviously, it's much more tougher than it was when we were in there 2 years ago. And yeah, fans are still not happy with the way we applied ourselves against Liverpool, how we got bullied out the Bristol City game. You know, we're traditionally a cup team, and if we go out the cup in a bad way, the fans are not happy about it. So a lot of things are stacked against Moyes. We have spent a lot of money last 2-3 years if you look at it, the stats. So that's why I don't want to blame Sullivan as much as Moyes, right? So we'll see. Let's see what happens in the next couple of games. But I think the excitement, the morale amongst fans is on the floor at the moment, and the worry is the window's gone, and there's not much on the bench to be excited about, and we can't even say that we're missing a lot of players injured. We're not. Paqueta, definitely. Antonio, oh my God, he was really off form anyway. Are we really excited to see him back? I don't know. So, yeah, and then there were people like Broja going and one or two other things that we could have done. It's just very, very sad, really. So, listen, I'm going to go and watch Liverpool-Arsenal game, two teams who know how to play football, and it'll be much more exciting than what I've just seen. You guys take care. Please subscribe and share if you haven't already, and I will be back with a show quite soon, you guys. So, yeah, you guys take care. Unfortunately, not very good news, and we didn't get a point that sometimes we don't deserve, but even worse. So let's see what happens, but we are on the floor. Things are not happy, and let's see what happens. You guys take care. Have a good evening.